These are devotions for people at a social distance. Today is, of course, November the 11th. It is Remembrance Day. And of course, it is a day when we reflect and remember the extraordinary cost of war and honor, of course, all of those who gave of their lives, of their body, their strength, and the prime of their life for the sake of their nation. And it should serve as a continual reminder of the extraordinary high cost of war. And as I reflected on that today, my thoughts turned to Romans chapter 12, verses 14 to 18, in which the apostle calls on us to act in a very costly way when you think about it. But given the cost of war, I think we need to reflect on this. Bless those who persecute you. Bless and do not curse them. Rejoice with those who rejoice. Weep with those who weep. Live in harmony with one another. Do not be haughty, but associate with the lowly. Do not claim to be wiser than you are. So, though this may often be difficult, he's saying you need to do what you can to get along, to honor others for who they are, not seeking to dominate, not seeking to rule. Do not repay anyone evil for evil. So if somebody does something bad to you, you should not seek to return it, but take thought for what is noble in the sight of all. If it is possible, so far as it depends on you, live peaceably with all. So far as it depends on you, live peaceably with all. Now, I realize that in this passage, Paul is primarily speaking about, interpersonal relationships with the people around you, specifically in this case, people in the church, but it also does apply to our relations with the world. It is not always possible to live in peace with all people. And war, the history of the world has proven war is an inevitable fact of life. It's going to come. And at times, yes, people must rise to that challenge. But we must do all we can to seek peace. And that is costly. That is difficult. It's at times when nations are rising against nations and kingdoms against kingdoms, it's a very unpopular point of view to seek for peace. But given the cost of war, what must we do? What must we do to seek peace if it is all possible, if at all it depends on us? So an important reflection. Lord our God, given the history of the world, we know that nations have and will rise up against nations and kingdoms against kingdoms. They will make war. Sometimes we might be called to serve our nations in those events, as horrible as they are. Let us seek for peace. Let us seek for ways to get along, to understand those who are different from us, to come to diplomatic understandings. That is costly, that is difficult. But teach us also that it is absolutely worthwhile.